Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Chris Buescher goes back-to-back and wins, does the same thing that Kevin Harvick did last year. How in the world do you win Richmond and then win Michigan back-to-back? Two racetracks that could not be more different. Holy cow, Castro gets a Cup Series win. When's the last time Castro's ever won a Cup Series race? I can't even remember. But holy cow, make sure to pre-order that diecast, guys. That Race Win 124 diecast is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. Oh, that's so cool, guys. And, of course, you could pre-order last week's Richmond win. Of course, go over the Circle B Diecast. Use the promo code DIECASTBuffet. You will save. Holy cow, this is so cool. Chris Buescher freaking gets the win. Man, is Roush back? Is it the Roush Couture days? Holy cow. That is so awesome. I'm so glad Buescher held on for the win. Truex has already got a lot of wins this year, man. Buescher, this is only his fourth career win, I think? This is so cool. So freaking cool. The playoffs are almost here. Buescher is quietly becoming a sleeper, and he's really starting to become the Ross Chastain path, the underdog, if you will, the guy that has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Could he be a spoiler in the playoffs? I mean, if you could win in a short track and you could win at a 2-mile speedway, what's stopping you from winning at 1.5 miles or other racetracks? Who knows? Who knows? This is really, really cool. So huge congratulations to Chris Buescher as a Texan myself. Really cool to see a Texan win. Back in the 2000s, see Bobby Labonte and Terry Labonte racing hard. It's really cool to see another Texan having success in the Cup Series. So, my thoughts on Michigan. Holy cow, it was a great race. Like, if you exclude the winner, it is still a fantastic race. Tire problems, spin outs, hard to control race cars, and you have the drama of the weather. That definitely changed things up. What a fantastic show. Seeing Truex go, well, he pitted before the end of the stage, drove through the entire field, and had a photo finish with Suarez to win the stage. I'm telling you, man, Michigan is a fantastic racetrack right now. The racing quality is amazing. Even the Xfinity race was a whole bunch of fun, and the Cup Series race is a whole bunch of fun. And you look at the quality of racing, guys, and you look at it last week compared to this week. And I talked about this before the Richmond race even happened, before the Michigan race happened. Let me tell you, the quality of racing at short tracks compared to these big tracks is not even close. It's almost like two different disciplines of racing. That's how bad short track racing is currently in the Cup Series and how great the racing is at these big tracks. You don't believe me? Look at the statistics. Michigan had the biggest attendance since 2015. 2015. If you look at the attendance numbers for the 2015 finale compared to, I think it was 2019, I think it was 8.6 million people watched that 2015 Homestead race. I think it was like 30% less in 2019. So it just tells you how much of a steep drop the fan base has been. To see them have that many people, yes, the rain definitely drove a lot of people away, unfortunately. Nothing you can do about that. But the fact that they showed up for it is a huge, huge plus. And then you look at Pocono. Biggest crowd since 2010. I'm just saying, man. This is the bread and butter. This is what the fans want. Give them the 1.5 miles. Give them the big tracks. They are tuning in for it. They're showing up to the racetrack for it. If I was making the 2024 or 2025 schedule, I would be doing everything I can to get more of these tracks on the schedule and less short tracks, because clearly it is working. The racing is fantastic. The fans are tuning in, and the fans are showing up at the track. You know, you look at the last 20 years of NASCAR racing, guys, and seeing the crowds finally return to non-Daytona and non-Talladega is really cool. And you could consider, since they started the chase, through the playoff era at COT, till the 550 horsepower package, all that stuff, that would be considered the dark era of NASCAR racing, because it was just downhill every year, no matter who won and who, whatever manufacturers in the sport. It's good to see something good, right? And if I was making the 2024 schedule, I have an idea. It's a little bit rambunctious, but how about this? What if we had 3 doubleheaders? Dover, Michigan, Pocono. Don't extend the schedule in terms of week, calendar, February to early November, but have 3 doubleheader races. 2 at Dover, 2 at Pocono, 2 at Michigan. Why? The racing is fantastic. I would also like to see, if they did do a doubleheader thing, what if they had a bonus if you won both of the races? Kind of like how the Winston No Bull worked. It'd be cool, if they have another big sponsor coming onto the sport, like Amazon or something. It'd be cool to hey, if you win both of these races, you get a bonus. You get, maybe more playoff points. You get, I don't know, $1 million. That would be an interesting dynamic. But I think getting more races at Pocono and Michigan and Dover, which they were 2 races for, it seemed like forever. They went down to 1. The racing was atrocious. And guess what? It is back. The fans are tuning in for it. Holy cow, man. I love it. This Michigan stuff, it is fun. Pocono, I'm loving these tracks, man. The racing right now is in a great spot. Will it last forever? Probably not. They're going to probably make a crazy rule change like they have done. It seems like every time they had great racing. 2014. So my point is, enjoy it. I want to see more of these tracks on the schedule. Every time I watch one of these races, I like short tracks less and less. Get them off the schedule to a minimal amount, because the racing belongs on these big tracks right now. That's the best product they put on. For a long time, it was the other way around. It was the short tracks are the only ones that put on a good show. You go to a 1.5 mile and the racing would be just green flag runs, hardly any passing. Phantom debris cautions were the only thing that spiced it up. And then you go to a short track and everyone's beating the banging, radiators getting blown out, and it's not like that. It's crazy how the current NASCAR racing world is they race 10 times more aggressive at Michigan, which is 199 miles per hour in the corner, potentially more if you have a really large draft, than they did in the truck race and the full cup race combined at Richmond. Think about that. Just think about that. There was more action in 50 laps at Michigan than there was the entire truck race and the entire cup race at Richmond. You could even argue maybe both of the Richmond Cup races, there was more action at Michigan entirely than the Xfinity truck and both cup races at Richmond. That's what I'm saying. I love this style of racing. It's a shame there's only one race here a year, especially with Fontana getting the dozer, unfortunately, which is stupid. Don't even get me started on that. I like the doubleheader idea. I think that would be interesting. I hope they find a way to get more of these on the schedule, because the racing's fantastic. The fans are tuning in for it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really thought Truex was going to win there at the end. Monday Martin, right? He always wins on the Mondays, but I'm really pleasantly surprised that Chris Buescher got it done. But I want to know what you all think, guys. Make sure to comment down below. The next race is going to be at Indy Road Course. Hopefully, it's the final Indy Road Course race ever in the Cup Series. I'm so sick of that racetrack. Bring back the oval. I'm telling you, if you bring back the Brickyard 400, I bet it's going to be a good show. I just feel like it. If it runs good at Fontana, Pocono, and Michigan, how in the world is it not going to run good at Indy? Because if you talk about the worst years of the Brickyard 400, the mid to late 2010s and early 2020, year 2020, the racing at Indy was very similar at times to Pocono and Michigan. Long green flag runs, hard to pass, X, Y, and Z. They're very similar racetracks, high speeds, giant. People forget how big Indianapolis is. My point is, bring back the oval, bring back the Brickyard 400. That would be great. That's just my honest opinion. Who knows? Maybe it'll rain. Maybe we'll get an interesting winner. It'd be cool to see AJ win it. I'd love to see that. Maybe Michael McDowell could get some good points. But the Indy Road Course, hopefully it's the last one, please. I could care less if they run the Xfinity race there continuing. I personally don't think the Indy or Xfinity cars belong on the Indy Oval. That's my honest opinion. If it was up to me, send them down the road to IRP, because that's a fun little short track there. Wow. What an awesome race, man. What an awesome race. I think it's Watkins Glen after that, which who knows how that one's going to go, because last year it was rain affected and single file restarts really annoyed me. I can't stand single file restarts. I'm going to keep that real. And then Daytona. So these next 3 races, if my math is correct, in terms of the scheduling, those are all 3 wild cards. They truly are. They're all 3 wild cards. We could see anybody from AJ to Tyler Reddick to even Chase Elliott. I would not be surprised, as mediocre that 9 car has been all year long. He goes to Watkins Glen and pulls a rabbit out of his hat. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying. He hasn't had success in the next-gen car at these road courses, but you might be, sometimes when you have nothing to lose and the only way you can get in is to win, you inevitably take crazy strategies. You get one bad caution or a random caution, you might find yourself in victory lane. Who knows? What do y'all think? Make sure to comment down below. Thank y'all so much for watching. What an awesome race, man. I enjoyed it. I freaking love this track. The racing quality is fantastic. I wish there was a truck race there at Michigan as well. I missed when they used to run there, but man, you could just tell. These short tracks, they're depressing. You go to these big tracks and everybody is just, they're loving it. Most people are loving it, and the grandstands show it, guys. Just keeping it real. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecast Buffet. Sign off.